As much as we want to make a subscription box for the customer, the key to all of it is that you need to realize that you are a cash flow and logistics company.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to SUBTA Studios. I'm super excited today. I've got my friends Stephanie and Paul Jarrett here from Bulu Group. A couple things. One, I want to tell you guys and have them tell you guys a little bit about their story and how they got to where they are now. And they have this amazing document and template that they put together that we're going to share as well through this interview. So one, Paul, Stephanie, thank you so much for being on.
Hey Chris, thanks for having us on, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, of course. So first, please tell us a little bit more about Bulu Group, how you got to where you're at.
Yeah.
Tell us about Nebraska. Tell us everything.
Our first thing that we did was about 8 years ago. We started Bulu Box, and it was just bulubox.com. And really it was about the 6th or 7th subscription box. And the whole thing was, let's make Birchbox, but for vitamins and supplements. And I remember searching for it, and it didn't exist. And I remember like, am I spelling vitamins and supplements correct? Why doesn't this thing exist? And then just like panic hit me of like, here's this opportunity, let's go. And so we launched like a Shopify site overnight. The logo was probably done in about 10 minutes by Stephanie. It was a mad dash. We eventually raised capital. We grew to about 500K monthly recurring revenue in less than 2 years. But it was the situation where like, if you take venture capital money, the goal isn't to be profitable. The goal is to just like grow your customer base. And once you get to a certain point, then you go to profitability. Well, we like did all the things you're supposed to do. We went to the market to raise more capital. We were only able to raise about 3.5 million, and we were kind of targeting 20 million. So we really took a step back, looked at what we were doing. We actually built a software on the side called Bulu Marketplace. That was sold, that was acquired. So that really helped us. And we kind of were sitting there like not sure what to do. The subscription box market was really crowded. The kind of numbers that we had built out for customer acquisition, I hate to tell people, but when we first started, it was like 28 cents to get a customer on a $10 box.
That's
and I remember the moment that it was over $10 to get a customer, we're like, well, there goes our model. Like, it's totally new. Which now I think the average cost is like 36 or 37 bucks to acquire a customer for a subscription box. So we were like, about 3 or 4 years in, and we just took a big step back and said like, what is it that we should be doing? We had a couple of companies that tried to acquire us, and we, just kind of had this moment where we had a new person come on who's really responsible for a lot of the document that we'll share in a little bit. But he just said like, well, why don't we do this for big companies that are asking us all these questions? And, we thought, can we do that? And so we started doing that. And I think it was the situation where we really didn't realize how much that we knew, right? And so here we are 4 years in, and we knew a ton. We started doing it for large companies. We have our own kind of fulfillment software and a few other things. But the one thing that really changed the game for us was building out these financial models, which is essentially the document that we're about to share with everybody. And I think that the big thing that changed was we realized that as much as we want to make a subscription box for the customer, that's great. But since you're a subscription and you're taking money ahead of time, like the key to all of it is that you need to realize that you are a cash flow and logistics company. And those are the two things that I know would hold us back to anywhere of 2,000 to 10,000 subscriptions per month. But once we were able to bring somebody in that was able to kind of educate us and really show us that we knew nothing about cash flow, we thought that we did, that's when the game changed. So
we've launched 16 and counting different subscription box programs. And we have a whole process that we call the Bulu way. And the beginning is what we call the launch process. And that almost always starts off with a pitch and then of what the box concept is and some research, market research about what the customer wants. And then we iterate on that and we build a financial model to go through it. And then once it launches, we go through what we call kind of a cyclical model. I mean, subscription boxes are very cyclical. We launched, like we said, about 16 programs. Between all of them, I think the revenue that we manage on behalf of our partner programs is like 100 million. So when we stop and look at it through that lens, we're like, oh, wow, this is
Big number.
Yeah.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Boo. Boo-hoo. Aw, don't cry. Bulu's can build your subscription box program. Bulu. Awful jokes, awesome boxes since 2012. Email our founder to complain about the knock knock joke or to learn more about how Bulu builds subscription boxes for companies like Disney, BuzzFeed, and Crayola at paul@bulugroup.com. But don't tell him we gave you his email. That's paul@bulugroup.com. Email today. Twice. Email him twice today.
What's really amazing what you've done is because, there was, a handful, we'll say handful, meaning 200-300 subscription boxes 5 years ago. And you started to see a lot of brands, and we saw it ourselves too. And you start to see a lot of brands that'll reach out to people because they don't know the subscription box space. This is a totally different revenue model and animal compared to like typical e-commerce, right? So big box brands, they don't have a subscription box department. For you guys to say like, hey, we do this for ourselves, then you're getting approached, which is probably like the light bulb of like, holy crap, maybe we should do this for others. And then you're able to solve for that, I think is remarkable.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, it's been wild. Like, working with, we have 3 boxes with Disney. Awesome. We're shipping millions of boxes out. And then, we have launched mom and pops type boxes, right? Like people that just have secured some capital and they want to launch like literally from nothing. And I think seeing that spectrum of, 16 boxes and being behind the scenes looking at it, you just learn so much. And the nature of the subscription box industry, like it's relentless, right? Like I almost like laugh at people that are like, oh, magazine publishing every month is hard. I'm like, are you kidding me?
So look at what's amazing about this. And for those of you watching, what Paul and Stephanie have been able to build and what they've learned over the years is not just about one industry and subscription boxes. They learned it across a bunch. From there, you're able to put together this amazing document. What are we calling this document again?
I don't think we ever had time to name it. Just like the box template.
It's like a no-brainer for any subscription box company, right?
Yeah.
How many years of time did it take to put this together, would you say?
I mean, we've been fine-tuning it for the last 8 years.
Yeah. So,
and we've had like consultants, we've had like hardcore accounts, like we've had so many people review and go through it, like, just PhDs, like in mathematics, you name it, they've looked at it. So,
and I know I spent some time going through it, and I remember thinking, geez, if I had this 4 years ago,
that's
like, I didn't even calculate my churn for 2 years. I love for you to show this to the group. We're going to let you guys know at the end of this how you're able to get this document. But one, thank you for putting this together. Thank you for thinking about the SUBTA community.
Yeah, for sure.
To be able to show this to them. So love for you to sort of kind of get into it, and let's like walk through it and take a look at it.
Yeah. So we brought Bailey Rogers along. She's gonna zoom in here. Is that what you say now? And she's she is integral in kind of like managing it, and we'll let her drive through it, and then we'll probably have some commentary and you can ask questions. And we will have a bigger kind of video, like how it actually works, that will be available to everybody. So what you're going to get is just a really top line view.
Yeah, so we're going to walk through what we're calling the subscription box financial model. We've really made this in mind that you don't have to be an Excel wizard to update and build out your financial model. We're going to go into each tab and just give you a little quick overview. So first tab you'll see is the how it works. Really all of the information you need to get started on creating out your financial model. I really, really strongly suggest reading through this before you do anything else. The only things you're going to edit are cells that are highlighted in blue and have blue text. Those are only going to show up on the form tab. So again, this is really easy. For anyone to edit, you'll see there's some descriptions of what each tab means on the bottom. This is compatible with both Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets, so you can use it in whatever format. And then there's also this FAQ of questions at the bottom. So if you are walking through anything and you have any quick questions, this is a good place to start and look and see if you can get any of those answered. The form is where I'm probably going to spend the bulk of my time describing, because this is really where the bulk of what someone coming and building out a model is going to look at. So again, we really built this with it in mind that that it's easy. But we split this into, I think it's 9 sections of information. So really saying, you can either come in and build this all at one time. It might take you a little bit of time, or you can come in and do little digestible chunks of it. So the first, you're going to see general program information. There's a lot of information to fill out because there's a lot of information to build out a full subscription box business model. Other revenue, cost of goods. We're going to get into cost of sales. Then we get into transactional expenses, your people. So there's a place to build out a full kind of like employee plan, even with future hires and planning all of that out, or outsourcing at some point when it makes sense. And then the last is just general business expenses. The key piece here, again, if you have no experience with Excel, all you're going to have to do is update the pieces that are in blue and the models. So every tab after this is going to update and populate automatically. So going to make this really, really easy for you to put in all of your information and then go and look at your financial models. We also have inputted in, tips and tricks on the left-hand side. So based on, Bulu's experience in the industry and, how many of these we've built out, we've put in some tips and tricks. We also have information inputted in here based on a fictitious beauty box company. So this is not numbers for any real company, but those are going to give you also a good clue into certain information that, might be our suggestion for what we'd put in there if we were in your shoes.
So Bailey, real quick. So
yeah.
One thing I think for those listening, this sheet can seem overwhelming, but we're stressing the fact that all you gotta do is fill out the one form and then everything else is going to populate. So I think that's super important. I think that's awesome.
One thing we would like to know, everything is editable in every other tab. So if you are, an Excel wizard, you have a lot of experience with it, you can edit things as you see fit. We've done everything in accrual and cash. We think those are the two most important ways to look at your numbers. So this is looking at a year-by-year summary of the accrual model. This is what, you might want your CFO to look at just to get a top level understanding of it. We also have a very similar looking summary for cash. So again, a year by year summary, the full model accrual tab. This is where you have a lot more information. This is just giving you the step-by-step detail. It goes through all 4 years. The color codes, I swear they match. If you're buying a box to box versus a 3-month subscription, your churn is different. So this is really looking at, what that churn looks like. You can see the new customers on the side, and then you can see how those customers are actually going to churn out.
That's crazy. Yeah.
If you, choose a monthly frequency, this is the churn tab you'll look at. If you choose quarterly, there is a different churn for that.
Makes sense.
And depending on what you pick, it'll populate automatically into the actual models that you're looking at of information. And then you also need to do this for cash transactions. This is really important for looking at how your cash is actually going to come in. Also, this is just the detailed cash model, just giving you, again, that level of detail that you might want to see, and a lot of things that you can expand and see more information. You can make it as overwhelming as you want is kind of.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think I know that I'm going to ask the Gentleman's Box team to go through and fill this out. I'm also going to highly recommend all the brands that I do some consulting work for to fill out this. For those of you listening, this is something that Bulu would charge $25,000 for just to start. They've been so gracious, knowing what's happening with the pandemic. They wanted to be able to give back. They want to be able to help the brands in the SUBTA community. And so what you're doing is offering it for free to all premium SUBTA members.
Yep.
SUBTA membership is only $300 a year, and you're going to get this $25,000 doc as part of it, along with all the amazing things you get from SUBTA and just joining the community. So you'll be able to fill out a form and request this document. You'll actually get a coupon code that they then can go to. What's the URL for this going to be?
It's bulugroup.com/SUBTA.
Perfect. And we'll have that link below in the description of the video. You'll be able to go in there, use the coupon code that you get, and that's going to allow you to download this document for free. If you're already a premium member to SUBTA, you're going to get the document for free. Same thing. You'll be able to go online, go into SUBTA, and fill out a form to request a coupon code. Anything else you guys want to add in regards to the document or just in general?
We appreciate you. We appreciate Paul. We appreciate everybody in the community. It's a huge part of our success. But we really can't play up the community enough between the Slack channels, the Facebooks, it's nice to have a whole community there when you hit those oh shit moments, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's always great. And I would just encourage everybody, just chip away at the document. If you have questions, comments, concerns, if we can make it better, just drop me an email. It's just paul@bulugroup.com. And, like I said, we're looking for a specialty fulfillment. We do everything from plants to, vitamins, supplements, you name it. And our hopes is that by sharing this, we create a stronger industry, and hopefully we get a little bit of work out of it. If not, just to see the community and everybody benefit from this, that's rewarding enough.
This friendship has been, 5-6 years now.
Yeah.
I thank you guys both for everything. Stay safe and healthy, and I look forward to seeing you guys hopefully in Dallas, but we'll see you at the virtual event for sure.
For sure.